Hi everyone, my name is Beacon. I'm the Poi Mechanic, and today I'm going to show you how to make these nifty little handles that light up for your contact poi. They're really awesome handles. Really add a lot to the visuals of your flow, and they're weighted really nice too, so they're great for tosses, and you can have multiple colors or multiple color changing insert. So anyways, to get started, you'll want to get yourself a product called Night Eyes Spotlit. You can get these things at Home Depot or online. They're just little keychains with a little light inside of them that has two 2016 batteries. They're like $6 or $7 at Home Depot. Anyways, you're gonna take this apart, take this out, and then what you'll be left with is, let's see if I can decide to do, that's what you're going to be left with. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to grind this down with a file, or if you have access to a bench grinder, it works really well. And it's going to end up looking like this. So you can see that there's quite a difference right there. So you'll take this edge all the way off, so it's even with this part right here, even with this inner ring area. And then you're also going to want to take the edge off there, so, or the dome part off, and that's so it will fit in your palm handles. These are Lantern Smith Pom Grips, by the way. So they're going to just push in there. They're kind of hard to get in there, or not too hard, I guess. I'm gonna push in there, and then the cap just snaps on over it like that. But you have to prepare it a little bit just so you can get it to stay in here. You could just put it in here and just hope that it stays, or kind of glue it in, but it's gonna probably pop out after just a little bit of use. So what I figured out how to do is attach it to the washer that you use as the stopper here. The way I did that is I got a, I think I have a 5/64, let's see if that's what that is. Yeah, 5/64 inch drill bit. That's what I happen to have. I think you can get away with getting like a 16th inch bit or whatever. And you'll drill a couple holes. Let's see if I can get that in the camera there. You'll drill a couple holes just a little bit apart from each other. And so you're going to want to get your rope and feed it through the Pom Grip. I use 3/8 inch polypropylene rope, super soft, lots of different colors and options to choose from. So kind of just force it in there. And then take your washer and feed it over the rope. Now you're going to want to get this, I'm going to cut this off here first. You're going to want to get this nice and flat against the washer. So I use a torch or a lighter if you have it. I don't have a lighter on me for whatever reason, so I'm using a torch. If you're going to use a torch, make sure to put it on the lowest setting possible, and be really careful, because you don't want to burn the rope too much. If you burn it, it turns into a plastic once it melts, and if it re-solidifies and it's been heated up too much, it can get really brittle. So just kind of work the flame back and forth over it until it starts to melt without bubbling. You try to keep it from catching on fire too. Alright, now you're going to want to flatten that out with some flat object like a piece of metal. Here, this is important, is to get this nice and uniform. You want it to be flat all the way around, because if it's too high in one spot, the insert that I'd made is not going to fit in there very well, or it won't fit flush. So what I've noticed with these Pom Grips, I bought Pom Grips last year, and then I bought some this year. Last year's model, and I'm sure this is probably not just depending on the year or anything. It's probably just different manufacturing times or something that, or I'm not too sure what it is. But anyways, this is a little shallower than this one is, only by not even, no, probably about the width of a washer. So when you make these inserts, make them for the individual handle that you're putting them in. Don't make a couple of these thinking that they'll be the exact same, because if you do that, then you might have a little gap here once you get the cap on. So now that I got this fed through there, you're going to take your torch again. Oh, first you're going to get some wire. I use, let's see, 20 gauge wire that I got from like Ace Hardware. And get yourself a section off of it. You're going to heat the wire up, and let's see. Heat the wire up till it gets red hot, and then poke holes in the plastic right where your holes for your washers are. And what I'm going to do is wire this to my insert so it won't pop out. Now with the insert, you're going to also put some holes here, and you're going to put the holes to the edge of these inner pieces of plastic that stick out. These pieces of plastic elevate the insert, or the the light away, so the circuit board doesn't touch the plastic when you're pushing it in there. Oh, and a note on this is when you're grinding this down to be flat right here on this side, be careful that you don't grind so much that you go into the housing for the LED right there. Anyways, heat your wire up again, and go to the outside edge and push the wire through. Pops out the back side. And you want to go to the outside edge of each one there, or each of those braces, or whatever you want to call them, because if you get them too close together, when you start to pull the wire through, it can, the wire won't have much plastic to hold on to, and it'll probably try to pull through this plastic. Go ahead and do that to the other side as well. If you're worried about burning yourself, you might want to use a pair of pliers to hold the wire. Okay, now I have holes on this device here. Might want to clean it up if it looks like it'll be hard to put wire through there. There we go. Okay, with that same section of wire that you have, bend it at maybe about a third of the length of this 2/3 length of a wire, or this, yeah, a third of the length of this wire. And we will first feed a wire through one side, and then the other side, or the next hole over. Once you get it through there, just pull it nice and tight. And then go ahead and do the other side as well. Now when I do this, I do the exact opposite of the other side. So if the short wire is on this right side hole and the long wire is on the left, I'll do the opposite. So I'll put the short wire on the left side hole and the long wire on the right, and I'll show you why here in a second. The rope's twisted a little bit there, so I'm not lined up with my holes very well. There we go. Okay, take your short wires and bend them out of the way. Now take your long wires and feed them up through your cap here. And do the same with the other side, and remember, as it is with the washer, you're going to want to go into the opposite side. So go from this corner to this corner and stick it in there like that. Pull it down about like that, and then you're going to take the wire and make a nice bend in it. Don't kink it, because you don't want to compromise the wire. Too many kinks, because you're going to have to tighten it here in a second. Anyways, I fed that back through that hole and feeding it through this hole. And now you're going to tighten it down. So try to pull these as smoothly as possible. Actually, you'll probably, let's see, probably just going to push it down as far as it'll go, and then pull the wire through. You'll find that when you pull on one side, it'll push the wire out the bottom side like the washer. So you got to kind of just be patient with it and work it back and forth until you get it cinched up. Now, you'll have a little wire sticking out right there on the center, and you're going to try to get that as tight as you possibly can. And it's going to actually dig into the plastic a little bit, which is fine because it kind of embeds itself in there. You'll want it to embed itself in there just a tad bit, because when you put this back in here, you don't want the contacts on your circuit board making contact with that wire, because that wire is now grounded out to the other side with this washer. So once you get that one side tightened down, cut the wires off and take your pair of pliers or needle nose or whatever you got and tighten it down. Twist it a little bit until you get a little tail there, and then chop that tail off and push it, kind of tuck it under the washer there. Again, you don't want to add any extra height here to the plastic from the rope. You don't want any, this to raise up any at all, because if it does, it's just not going to sit flush inside here. So now go back to the other side, do the same thing. Get it nice and tight and get it embedded in there. if you can. And then I fold this wire that I folded on this side, I'll fold this other one back the other direction. That way, the opposite direction, that way if it does get underneath this, between the plastic and the washer here, it's not pushing it over to one side if you had them, these both tucked under, going the same direction. The next part is really vital. Even though you've embedded the plastic inside, or the wire inside the plastic there, you'll still want to insulate that somehow. So I just take a torch, or I'm sorry, a hot glue gun stick, and I'll light it up, get it nice and runny, and then I'll just dab it right on top of that wire there, on both sides. I made the mistake of doing this the first time, forgetting to insulate the wire, sticking this down inside there, and when that happened, I fried my my light, which really sucked. But anyways, this is what you're left with. See how nice and tight it is to the washer. It's sandwiching the washer and the plastic from the rope. Take this and pull it, and now you'll just actually I should have put that in there yet, because I'm going to use my thumb and inside to push this in. So hopefully the measurements are right, and I'll have just a little bit of a groove right there. Let's see if I can show you that. Yeah, I'll have this little groove in there, which will make room for the cap to fit on. Put my light in there. Cap snaps right on. Cap fits nice and flush. And there you go. I don't know if this is going to show up very well or not. Oh yeah, there we go. So I use the glow-in-the-dark Pom Grips, but you can use all sorts of different things. They are any color. There's certain colors that the lights don't go through very well. Let's see. This one is pink right here. I really like pink because it really lightens up quite brightly. And as I said, there's different, the Night Eyes makes different lights, so if you want, you know, specific color, you can, you know, get a pink light and it'll make this pink even pinker, or you can get a green light and it'll make it kind of yellowish or whatever you want it. So anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you. And please like and subscribe to my videos, and I have a link to my website, which I hope to be in the future selling all these different props, and or the, you know, just the material to make them if you want. But you check out my other videos on how to make contact ball poi with the Flow Toys lights inside of the light capsules inside of them. So I also have a video out there on how to put swivels in there. Anyways, thanks very much and have a good day.